Anyone commute 70 plus miles to work? I was offered an engineering job with good pay, $100,000, enough to live comfortably and independently, pay bills etc. at least for my situation. Problem is that it's a 75-mile drive. Just for reference, my current job is 5 miles away and it's a 30-minute drive because of traffic. You can imagine how bad a 75-mile drive will be. Probably 2 to 3 hours, 4 to 6 hours round trip. I would pretty much have no life besides driving to work and working. I guess my goal would be to move in closer, but it's easier said than done. I was planning to make the commute for 2 months, then just move in closer, literally anywhere, once I had the first few paychecks. Can anyone share their experiences with this? Especially if you had a job far away and just winged it and decided to move closer, having no friends/relatives in the new city that could help. Asking for advice because I've never done something like this before, not sure how feasible it would be to say hey I'ma work 2 months and just move after I get paid. If life were only that simple.
Yeah, so I don't do this. I commute 35 miles for work round trip. So I spend about half this amount of time in the road, 2 to 3 hours. But I do have coworkers that commute from Baton Rouge, and they have 2.5, 3 hour commutes, and the money makes it worth it for them. And the fact that they can, in my industry, I work in construction. So a lot of people are choosing between making less money and sleeping in their own bed or making more money and sleeping in a trailer park or a small apartment in a random city and then moving and doing it all over again. So a lot of these people, they are commuting for an extra hour each day because it means they get to sleep in their own bed. I'd say in your situation, it's perfectly feasible for you to start doing it this way. Start with this 70 plus mile commute with the full intention of moving. I think that's perfectly reasonable. If you do it long term, it will burn you out. I wouldn't recommend doing it long term, but for those 2 months that you said, yes, I think it is perfectly reasonable. A lot of people in this comment section, maybe they just don't work. They all disagree with me, but as somebody that works in construction, I have a lot of coworkers that do this, and I'd say, yeah, they're able to do it, and they work really long hours. And yes, you're right. All you will be doing for that 2 months or whatever not is driving and working. But maybe you can make sure that you enjoy your time on the weekends and then eventually move. And as somebody who has moved for work, I would say that it's perfectly possible to move and make new friends. My wife has done a lot of the heavy lifting, did a lot of the initial heavy lifting of finding us friends. But if you're a friendly person and you take the time to go do things that interest you, where other people are also doing those same things, you will find friends. You will make new friends and you'll be very happy that you took this next step in your life. I assume that this is for a big promotion and a big raise. So I would say go for it and take your, maybe not give yourself 2 months to find a new job, but, find a new house, but, immediately start looking while you're there and find a place and move. But yeah, go ahead and start. If it's a great job opportunity, yeah, go for it. If you're willing to move to a new city, go for it. But I would do it with the full intentions of eventually moving. And then you can treat it like, hey, I have this long commute, but it's only for now. It's only for now. This is not my life forever. And eventually I'm going to move to this city. And you're only 70 miles away from your friends and family. So you're 2 or 3 hours. That's a weekend trip. So you can still, you'll make new friends in your new city, but you'll also be able to keep in touch with your old friends. You can do day trips and see them on the weekends. So yes, I'd say go for it. I wouldn't commute this long term, but I'd say in this instance, go for it.
Chasing payments, still playing in the basement while I'm working on arrangements. They heard the kid in 50 countries, thank God that's amazing. But I'd rather thank Spotify, they put me on the station.